Good evening. For years, people who live in the Jemez Mountains thought that David Ely was the victim of a tragic accident. But they sure don't think that anymore. The 47-year-old Ohio man had been camping in the San Antonio Springs area when he vanished in the summer of 2006. Everything seemed to point to an accident until last week, when fugitive killer Joseph Burgess, who was hiding in the Jemez, used Ely's gun to kill Sandoval County Sheriff Sergeant Joe Harris. News 13's Kim Vyas spent the day in the Jemez uncovering more about the case.
He came into the store quite often.
Ray Anderson, the owner of the La Cueva store, had many conversations with David Ely, who arrived here in April of 2006.
He's kind of healthy. He'd like to get fruit and vegetables and that sort of thing.
Ely told him he was from Ohio.
He was up here to just be by himself, maybe do some reading, writing, meditating. He used to go down to Jemez Springs to the library and email his sister and family down in Albuquerque, and did that quite frequently just to stay in touch.
Those emails suddenly stopped in June, according to Ely's sister, who filed a missing persons report. Locals say authorities spent a lot of time out here looking for Ely, but it wasn't until nearly a year after his disappearance that they found the first sign of him, his camp. It was right next to a cliff.
I thought that maybe he had fallen off a cliff.
People here thought Ely was simply the victim of a terrible accident.
They had some dogs and that they tracked it down to that edge there in San Antonio.
After all, Ely's campsite was undisturbed, according to the locals. They say his bike, his books, and other belongings were all there. But that thought of an accident has now faded from most people's minds.
I was a little bit fooled by Mr. Burgess, Cookie Bandit. I naively thought that he was harmless and more of a nuisance than anything else. And obviously he's a very dangerous man throughout his life. And so I was wrong about that. And it's very possible that he met up with Mr. Ely.
Kim Vyas, KRQE News 13.
According to the missing persons report, David Ely did have an apartment in Albuquerque near UNM, but that report does not say if he was a student. His family apparently still lives in Ohio.